Linda from Leichhardt sent me in a lovely email. She said, Richo, I love my pork and I love my stir fries, but I want to add something different to give it a bit of a sparkle. Well, Linda, I'm going to show you how to make a great pork stir fry, and I'm going to add some cashews to it, which will give it a lovely crunch. Now, what I'm going to start with is a really hot pan, a good sploosh of extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to throw in some mushrooms. I love mushrooms. There we go. In goes the mushrooms. And you can see they're frying up nicely right from the start. And if you have a close look at it, you'll see that they will soak up some of that oil. But don't worry, there's plenty of oil in there to keep the heat and brown off everything I put into this pan. Now, I'll move the mushrooms off to the side there, and I'll add my pork. This is lovely pork fillet, which I know is quite tender. And as soon as the meat goes into the pan, you can hear the sizzle and you can hear my excitement because you know I love cooking meat, and pork is one of my favourite meats to cook. In goes some salt because salt loves meat and meat loves salt, and of course, a good twist of pepper. Now, Linda, if you're cooking this at home, this sizzle is really important. This is searing off all the flavour. It does create a lot of smoke, so maybe you might want to go outside and do this on the barbecue. Now, I like to do this, which is just toss my pan around like that, and I'll just turn these over. You can see, within a matter of seconds, my pork is browned off, and all my mushrooms are browning off as well. Now, move that down to the other side of the pan like that, and then I'll throw in some chilli. I love chilli. It's what makes things nice and hot. And a couple of garlic cloves, I'll slice that nice and thin like that, and throw them in as well. And of course, ginger. A nice big knob of ginger that I've cut into nice little strips like this. You can do your ginger whatever way you want, but I like to crunch on the ginger as I'm eating it. And give it a toss around like that. It smells fantastic. Now, of course, some greenery. You need some healthy stuff in there. I've got some broccolini. I've got a couple of pieces of celery that I've cut into cubes, and some snow peas. I'll throw them in as well and toss that off. Now, the most important thing when you are making a stir fry like this, Linda, is keeping the heat, keeping that sizzle. Now, this is the crunch. This is something I love, using nuts in savoury dishes like this. A good handful of cashew nuts. I love them. You can pre-roast them yourself, or you can buy these ones that are roasted already. There we go, all the way around there like that. All I need to do is just give that one little toss like that, and you can see it's just about to come together. Now, I've got some coriander here, and I'll give this a nice little rough chop, about half a bunch, and some spring onion. Nice and rough into nice big pieces. Then I'm just going to throw this straight on top here like that. Now, to give it a bit of steam to cook the vegetables through, I've got a little bit of rice wine, but you can just use a little bit of water if you want. It doesn't really matter. And then I'll give it just a bit of steam in the bottom to give it a bit of extra heat. And to add a bit more flavour, I've got some hoisin sauce, about a tablespoon of hoisin sauce, and of course some soy sauce. I'll put about 3-4 tablespoons in there in total. And all I need to do is give that a bit of a toss around like that. About another 30 seconds, and this will be perfectly cooked. There you go, some sesame seeds that are toasted on top, some deep-fried shallots because I like the sweetness and a little bit of the crunch. And for some extra crunch, of course, I've got a few extra roasted cashews on top of there. And look at that. With the addition of a few roasted cashew nuts, you've got a great stir-fry with a bit of crunch.